Hey guys, welcome to Series World. Today I'm going to explain an erotic thriller series called Dark Desire from 2022. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The episodes open with a New Year party where young Alma and Esteban can be seen celebrating. Right at midnight, Esteban kisses Alma. She stops him and informs him that they can't do this as she is Leonardo's girlfriend from now on. The scene changes to the present time as Esteban is going through Alma's stuff in her drawer. He pockets her perfume and one of her underwear. Meanwhile, Alma is asking Eugenia whether she has an arrest warrant for Darío. Eugenia informs her that she has a subpoena in the works. Alma tells her that she can't show them anything, so she has no right to interrogate Darío. Eugenia tells her that the autopsy found his DNA on Giulietta's fingernails. Alma defends him, saying that Giulietta and Darío were lovers. Outside, Leonardo is expressing to Inigo that he doesn't understand how Alma got involved with Darío again. Alma asks Darío when did he make love the last time with Giulietta, and he replies that they did that morning. Alma tells Eugenia that there would be Dario's DNA all over Giulietta's body. Alma states that Giulietta killed herself, and Eugenia has no evidence indicating that it's a homicide. She tells her to bring the discharge papers so that they can leave. Meanwhile, Esteban is going through Alma's laptop. The scene changes back to Eugenia, who is telling Alma that she thought Alma was different, and she hopes that it won't be long till Alma realizes how wrong she is now. Alma doesn't discuss it, and starts leaving with Darío. Eugenia tells Darío that she doesn't believe anything that he said about a lookalike, and Alma suggests she refrain from intimidation. Otherwise, she will take action. Before they can leave, Leonardo comes and starts choking Darío, asking what story did he make this time. Alma pulls him away from Darío, and he asks Alma how desperate she can be for Dario's company. He asks Darío whether he ends things with women by killing them. Darío doesn't reply, and they leave. Meanwhile, Esteban is still searching Alma's house, and he gets a call from Zoe. Alma and Darío go to the hotel to get Dario's laptop and notice that the door is open. Inside, Inigo is going through Dario's computer. He tells Darío that he just wants to know the truth, and Darío assures him that he knows the truth because Darío has told him. Inigo asks Darío whether he had stopped loving Giulietta. Alma tries to leave them alone, but Inigo forbids her. Inigo tells him that no matter what his reply is, he will never know how much Darío loved Giulietta. But Inigo gave all his affection and loyalty towards Darío and treated him as a son he never had. Darío tells him that for this he will be forever grateful. Darío informs him that he has loved Giulietta even after she has killed herself. Inigo gets furious hearing this and corrects him, saying she was murdered. He tells them that he doesn't want to, whether he was on the terrace or not, but they have killed Giulietta. Inigo then leaves the room. Meanwhile, Esteban is carving a cross out of wood. Zoe tells Esteban that Alma has to be with Darío, and she is not even picking up her phone. Zoe tells him to help her figure this out regarding the evidence against Darío and everything. Esteban asks her why she is getting involved in all of this, as he knows it's not about protecting her mom from this. He tells her that she is doing this all for herself, as she is feeling a lot of negative emotions now that Darío is back in the picture. Zoe doesn't pay attention to what he says. Right at that moment, Karina comes to Esteban's house too. Karina tells Zoe to let her know when she is finished, as she would like to talk with her after. Zoe tells her that she's done now, and they leave. The scene changes to Eugenia, who is discussing with the officers why Giulietta would have Alma's card to her. She asks whether they have the records from Giulietta's phone yet. Mendoza replies that, unfortunately, not, as the phone is registered with a company in California. Eugenia tells him that they have to try harder. She then asks Jimenez whether he got the security footage from the hotel, and Jimenez informs her that they have it now. The scene changes to Zoe, who is talking with Karina. She explains to her how she fell in love with Karina not because she is a woman, and even if she's not a woman, she would still be in love with her. Then they start kissing each other. Meanwhile, Alma is telling Darío that Eugenia will soon find out that they lied. Darío tells her that he can't remember anything because he was unconscious. Alma tells him to remember what happened before that, or any details that would indicate that there's someone out there to get him. Darío realizes that Alma doesn't believe him either. Alma tells him that her opinion doesn't matter and they should discuss the facts. Darío starts from the beginning when he goes to the terrace to tell Giulietta what happened between him and Alma. He saw her on the edge of the building, completely out of herself. He couldn't do anything. A scene is shown where Darío is telling Giulietta to calm down and to get off the edge. He swears to her that she is his only love. Giulietta tells him that she saw her mother in the bathtub, fully dressed, crying. She was little back then, and her mother told her that she was crying because life is just an illusion. Back then, she didn't understand her, but now she does. Darío pleads with her to come down, but she doesn't. She continues saying that what hurt her the most was that none of this was true, including her marriage and this relationship. All of it was an illusion. Darío tells Alma that he doesn't remember anything after that moment. Alma asks Darío whether he betrayed Esteban, and he explains that no one betrayed anyone. Esteban went to Harris and Lawson to recover Dario's inheritance, but the lawyers called the police on him because it so happened to be that someone pretending to be Darío Guerra was there at that moment to collect his inheritance already. He tells Alma that Esteban still thinks that this was a setup by Darío. He tells Alma that what she knows is not true, and he even hired a private investigator to track the money, and he found the video from the bank. Alma gets up to light a cigarette and asks Darío what happened to Esteban after their confrontation. Darío replies that Esteban disappeared and he was back in Mexico and put in jail. Darío tries to calm her down, and Alma suggests that this could be Esteban's doing as he has enough reason to screw Darío over, and he also got enough time to do that. She reveals to Darío that Esteban was there at the hotel that night. She saw him while leaving the hotel. Alma asks whether it's possible that Esteban knocked out Darío on the terrace that night. Darío agrees that it's a possibility. Meanwhile, Esteban has gone to the father to discuss his intense desires and temptations. He tells the father that he didn't know where else to go, so he came here. Father expresses that he knows that Esteban is a good man, and he thinks that he's here for guidance. He praises Esteban, saying that the fact that he's repenting is a good thing. Esteban asks for suggestions regarding how he should stop the feelings that he is feeling. The father explains that in the Bible, there is a clear passage which suggests to keep watching and praying, so that they don't enter temptation. Father tells him that the power of prayer is incredible and cites another proverb where it states that no one can walk on flaming coals without burning their feet. The scene then changes back and forth to couples being intimate. Meanwhile, Esteban is doing a workout, and he prays to control his desires. In the morning, Alma wakes up and looks at Darío sleeping beside her. He also wakes up. Alma tells him that she was wondering whether she was with the real Darío or with the evil one. Darío asks how she can be sure that the twin is the evil one. Lise also wakes up in the morning and tells her partner to wake up as he has to go home. Meanwhile, Esteban is having breakfast at the hotel. He gives the pill that he found on the terrace to a man and tells him to find out what it is. The man is curious as to why he wants to know this and asks whether he is back on the line. Esteban doesn't clear the confusion and asks whether he will be able to do the job, and the man assures that he can. The scene changes to Alma. She tells Darío that he can find everything for breakfast in the fridge, and she'll be back before lunch. Darío shows her the invitation card and asks whether it's the one that was sent for Leonardo, and Alma confirms it is. Darío informs her that it's not the one that they sent out to everyone. Alma realizes that there's one more thing now that they have to look for. Darío proposes that he should go with her too, but Alma tells him that she should go alone. Before they could end the conversation, someone knocks on the door, and it turns out to be Alma's therapist. She gets shocked seeing Darío there. She asks Alma why Darío is living there, and Alma tells her that she has the freedom to live how she wants and with whom she wants. But her therapist thinks she is deciding how she wants to die by doing this. Alma makes it clear to her therapist that she's not afraid of the consequences. The scene changes to Leonardo telling Inigo that they have to keep pressuring Eugenia, and he has contacts at the DA's office. But Inigo tells him to stop, because what he is doing is trying to settle his scores with Darío, and that's not Inigo's problem. Leonardo understands. Inigo continues that no matter what he does, nothing will bring back Julieta, and now all he wants to do is bury his daughter and leave this place. The scene changes to Zoe entering Alma's house. She started looking for Alma but couldn't find her. Instead, she comes face to face with Darío taking a shower. Meanwhile, Alma is driving somewhere. She remembers that while investigating Darío with Esteban, they had found another Darío who is the son of Alberto Guerra. At that time, Alma thought that they were investigating the wrong Darío. Esteban is seen again working on construction for the shelter. Alma comes to Esteban and asks him to help her know everything about Darío. Meanwhile, Zoe is frantic seeing Darío, and he's trying to calm her down. She throws away Dario's luggage from the balcony. Darío hugs her and tries to calm her down. The scene changes to Esteban, who is asking Alma whether she has thought about what would have happened if she had chosen him instead of Leonardo on New Year's Eve 1995. At the party, he met Lucinda, who was a friend's friend of Alma. She was married but was feeling rejected and neglected like he felt that day. Alma asks him whether he's implying that he's the father of Darío. A scene is shown where young Esteban asks Lucinda about herself, and she replies that she's trying to start her life again. Lucinda gave birth to a baby right after 9 months of the party. Unfortunately, she was never mentally stable, and after giving birth, she suffered from postpartum depression, and she drowned the baby. Right after that, Esteban was contacted by a doctor in Brazil named Edson Arantes, who specializes in cloning technology, and together they made thousands of clones of Darío. Alma realizes that Esteban is joking with her, and she tells him to stop. Alma asks him what he was doing at the hotel that night. The scene changes to Eugenia and Jimenez watching the footage where they see Alma and Darío kissing on the elevator. This confirms Dario's alibi. They also see Inigo coming out of the elevator and heading to the bar at 10:48 p.m. Eugenia tells Jimenez to stop the footage where Esteban can be seen entering the hotel lobby. At that moment, an officer comes and informs Eugenia that Inigo wants to see her. The scene changes to Alma telling Esteban that Darío and Esteban have too much history and bad blood for this to be a coincidence. Alma pushes Esteban for the truth, and he explains to her that he's trying to control himself, and she should too. Meanwhile, Inigo meets Eugenia. He asks whether there's any discovery in the investigation, and Eugenia couldn't give concrete information. Inigo requests to recover Julietta's body to put her to rest if there's no suspect or concrete evidence. The episode ends with Eugenia telling him that she has elements that point to her death being a homicide. To watch more explanations of these kinds of series, click on the videos on your screen. And don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.